Ever wondered why Python is the go-to programming language for machine learning? In this video here, we're going to cover all the aspects of why Python is the best for machine learning and why you should use that, because there's a ton of different advantages. We're going to cover all of it. It's Nikolai from Vertex. Let's get into it. So let's just start with one of the main benefits of using Python for machine learning, and it is the simplicity and also the readability of Python code. It is very easy to work with. We can spin up notebooks relatively quickly. We can go through, do a lot of iterations, testing back and forth, because that is the whole essential behind machine learning. We take some models, we have some data, we need to load it quick, try out different variations, fine tune our parameters, we need to do a lot of changes. And we basically just need a programming language where we can iterate fast and also relatively easy to use and also learn. So if you're just starting out, like, Python is also the best language just to get into programming, but specifically for machine learning. So it basically just helps us with problem solving instead of dealing with syntax, data types, connecting it all together, compile the code and so on. We can basically just have a notebook where we can do data science, test out a bunch of different stuff, play around with our data, train models, tune some high parameters, and then pretty much set up whole systems in Python as well. So the second reason why Python is so popular for machine learning is the extensive libraries and also frameworks which are available. And under the hood, they're actually like running C++ code. Then we have Python wrappers on top of it. So we still get the speed from the frameworks, but it's easy to work with. There's a bunch of support. Python is easy to work with, code in, and we can also iterate faster. So we have a bunch of different libraries, both for data manipulation. We have NumPy, we have Pandas, where we can load in our data, depending on what types of tasks that you're doing within the machine learning space. Pandas, loading in data, Matplotlib, we can also visualize the data. So in just a few lines of code, we can take our data, load it into a notebook, just run a couple of blocks of code with our Python interpreter. Instead of compiling code, taking care of syntax, we need the data types and so on, we can iterate way faster. So it's very good for development and also just researching, trying new things out. So we have Matplotlib to visualize the data. Then we also have some more high-level machine learning frameworks, where for machine learning we have scikit-learn. So there's a bunch of different tools in there. All the models are available, all the traditional machine learning models, support vector machines, decision trees. All of that is within that framework, and even some very simple deep learning models as artificial neural networks. Then we also have some other ones which is a bit more specifically for deep learning, where we have TensorFlow, PyTorch. You can pretty much do everything machine learning, AI related in those frameworks and libraries, and all of it is running C++ code under the hood. So we still get the performance, we get the speed, but we can just write high level simple Python code, execute the code, and we basically just have all of it up and running. So our development will be significantly faster compared to doing it in C++, Java, or some of the other programming languages out there. So Python is also just the most popular programming language in general. So that's also one of the reasons why it's good for machine learning. Also the community and the ecosystem around Python, it is very well supported. Large communities, also active communities that can help you out with help. People are familiar with it, they know how to use it, and everyone is basically coding machine learning in Python. So that is at least for development stages where Python is superior to all the other programming languages. But once we start to like take our models after we have done the development and want to deploy them into systems, then we can start thinking about other frameworks and also programming languages, which is significantly faster when we need to actually like run our code and also run our models on hardware, doing real stuff out in the real world. So with the communities, we also get a lot of open source projects, code and so on that you can use as a baseline. Pretty much all there for machine learning. Like if it's open source, it is in Python, you can pull the code directly, use it, use different elements and modules from different parts and combine all of it together. So we also have another video here on the channel where we cover and talk about, is GPT-4 worth it for coding? So definitely check that video out if you haven't already seen that. And again, it pretty much just combines it with this video. It goes hand in hand. Python is the best programming language for machine learning, but also because we have this large community, so much is available out there, open source, and then these large language models as GPT, they can learn to write Python code. I've tested out with C++ and also some other programming languages, and it is not anywhere near Python when we're talking about like generating code from these large language models. So it goes hand in hand, and when you're doing machine learning in Python, then you can also use ChatGPT to basically build your whole model systems, the architectures, the whole code base structure. You can then just glue all the parts together, but we cover that in that video. And another very important point is the flexibility of Python. It is suitable for both small scale projects, but also very large scale. It integrates together seamlessly with a lot of other programming languages, both in your local environment and also in cloud services. It's easy to set up. You just need to have a Python interpreter. You don't need to link any libraries. You can use the pip install, so you can just pip install all the frameworks and also libraries, and you're pretty much good to go. And most systems, they already have Python pre-installed, so it's easy to have the installation. We import the modules, libraries that we need. We can start writing our code, and in just a few lines of code, we actually have our machine learning libraries, can start build machine learning models, fine-tune them, train them on custom data, different types of data sets. We can then take the models, deploy them, and this is how easy it is when we're using Python to build machine learning, deep learning, and also AI projects in general. So Python is simple. It supports extensive libraries. There's strong community support. It is the most popular programming language out there now. And that is also the case for machine learning, because we can iterate way faster. It is more flexible. It's easy to have up and running. We can iterate faster when we're training our models, tuning our models, playing around with different layers, combining all the elements together from different frameworks, and then also the industry adoption. Can be used for pretty much everything, both small scale problems and also large scale problems. So that's pretty much it for this video here. If you're interested in machine learning, Python is a very good place to start, and you can't really go wrong with it. Tons of support out there. Take the modules, start building real world projects and applications. Make sure to hit the subscribe button for more tech tutorials and insights under the video here, and then I'll just see you guys in one of the upcoming videos. Until then, happy coding.